Okay, good morning. How's everybody? How are you? Everybody doing well? I'm well. Kind of crazy world we live in. When somebody says they're doing okay, it's almost an amazing thing, you know? Anyhow, the Secretary of Defense is still in the news. I can't tell you how amazed I am that is, that he hasn't just decided to go put his head down. I think he's a distraction to the, so that people aren't paying as much attention to the tax cut to the rich bill that's before the Senate right now, or the Congress. That could be it. But anyhow, he's building a makeup studio at the Pentagon. They say it's just a small room and yada 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 yada. But why do people need a makeup room? Usually they just come out, they throw a little powder on your face or base on your face just to cut down the glare from the lights. You know? But he wants a full makeup room in the Pentagon. I don't know, maybe that's before he goes out on a date or something. I have no idea, but it's only $45,000. It's not like it's the end of the world, but still, why? You know? You're supposed to be cutting expenses, and you come up with this ridiculous expense. It's a minor expense, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Makes you wonder what else this clown is up to, you know? All right. Next thing he's done is people are saying that this was on I think it was an Easter Sunday post he made or something. I'm not sure exactly 100% on the date, but they're claiming that he was drunk. They're claiming his behavior was abnormal and whatever, you know. I mean, I think he's just trying to impersonate Musk myself, you know. He does exhibit signs of not being drunk, but being of an alcoholic. You know, so does Musk. Musk exhibits the signs of an addict. So this is just a wonderful government we have here, folks. You know, don't you love it? You got a drunk and a drug addict. Jesus Christ, man! This guy makes him. Hedges' attitude is that he's doing nothing wrong, and Trump doesn't care. So, you know, you have a leader that doesn't give a shit, and, you know, whatever. You know, you have a leader that took documents home to sell, because obviously there's no other reason for him to keep those documents. They weren't about him, so he must have kept them to sell. And then you have Bolton running around stating that Trump isn't favoring Russia. He's favoring Putin. Now, that confuses me, because isn't Putin the leader of Russia? I don't know. Sometimes people make statements, and even if you read an in-depth article about the statement, it doesn't make any sense when they're done, you know? And it doesn't make any sense. So I don't have a clue as to why he says that, but we've known that for a long time. That's not a new event. That's, you know, Trump's always been, you know, kissing Putin's boots. I don't know. These things just make no sense sometimes, you know. I do know that for a long time businesses have been trying to get a hotel in Moscow. I don't know whether they ever did or not, you know. But Moscow is not a major tourist attraction for American visitors, so I don't know. Because you still have the same problem there that you have if you're a foreigner from Latin America going to the United States now. They're going to be watching you like a hawk do something wrong. They're putting you on a plane and sending you home, you know. If you're lucky, that's the least they would do. Otherwise, you end up in El Salvador. Trump wants to eradicate, in Hedgeworth, they want to eradicate transgender people from the military as well as the government in general, you know. And my opinion of that is, look, I don't dislike any of them. My wife has a cousin that, well, he's gay, I think, just straight gay. But I've met transgender people before in my life. I find them, I have trouble with some of them because they're not completely one or the other. Because they haven't got the money to do the surgery, or they don't really want to do the surgery. They're gay people that make themselves up to be all the hormones and everything to be women. I don't understand everything about it. Okay, don't hate them. Don't care. That's what you want to do. You have to understand that these people are basically prisoners within themselves. You know, so are gay people that don't come out, you know, because of social pressures and whatnot, you know. They're just prisoners within themselves. It's not a disease. It's not something you can cure. It's what they are. Let them live their lives. They're not bothering anybody. Oh, they're trying to convert our kids. So do priests. They try to convert you too. To believe stuff that you may not want to believe, but you have to believe it because your parents believe it. You know that one? Huh? I know that one quite well. I was a Catholic because my mom was a Catholic. I had no idea what religion was about. Now I'm not religious at all. Okay. I have respect for religions. You know, I've studied a lot of religions. My brother was the same way. My brother ended up leaning, I don't know whether he ever converted, but he was leaning towards Buddhism. And I had no problem with that. You know, unfortunately, by the time I knew it and by the time I thought I should talk to somebody to see what it was all about, my brother passed away. And that's my fault for being ignorant, you know. So when somebody sits down and says they're this or that, I try to talk to them, you know. But Catholicism is sort of like Catholicism and what do they call it? You know, Muhammad and the religion of the Arab world, the religions of the Arab world are difficult because people just accept it. Because that's one of the things, you're not allowed to really question those things, so people just accept it. And I happen to be one that questions stuff, you know, so, but that's okay. They're okay, they don't bother me. I get a little, I've talked to the born-again Christians, the Latter-day Saint people and whatnot that go around, stand on corners, selling their books and everything like that, and that's just not me. I don't want to deal with those people. I have nothing against them so long as they keep their religion to themselves. I don't go around telling everybody what I am. You know, I still wear a St. Christopher medal. That medal is over 50 years old. It was from my mother, and I'm going to keep it till the day I die. I'd like to pass it on to somebody else, but not as a religious medal, you know. But we'll see what happens there, you know. I had something else about Trump and I can't find it. Hold on one second there, people. As I go here and look and see if I can find the headline again. I doubt I'm going to find it. Well, here's one that Trump is so dangerous, lifelong conservatives are calling for a revolution. I'm not a lifelong conservative. I mean, I'm calling for some sort of revolution because I don't think the Democrats have what it takes. I don't think the Republicans have what it takes. And I definitely know Trump doesn't have what it takes. You know, that's just me. I don't know whether that's a universal thought, you know. But I'll tell you, I'm beginning to like this Ocasio-Cortez a little bit more and more every time I hear her talk. You know, I don't know whether that, you know, she's the one or not. I have no idea. But we'll find out down the road, I guess. But I really do like her. And I think it's time for a woman president in this country because there was one that was running on the Republican side. I forgot her name. She was the UN ambassador at one time, Nikki Haley. She might be okay. You know, it's hard to tell because she never got to really express her point of view. She took up, she sided with Trump, and then she dropped out of sight. She's not doing anything anymore, as far as anybody can tell. Trump has got a proposal that would force many American women to settle for less. I don't think they're going to. You know, I don't think there's going to be a male-female war, but I think a lot of men be on the side of women. Tourists are being told to stay clear of the U.S. Trump expresses indifference because Trump doesn't care. If it affects his personal pocketbook, then he'll do something about it. But he should worry about it because he is in the hotel business and he is in the luxury golf course business. But the golf courses are all made up of white people, you know, rich white people. They get to play golf. Black people can't afford the clubs. Poor people in general can't afford to play that, you know. You know, I just don't understand. See, I was raised, and I keep telling people this, by the fact that we need each other. I go back to the Indian Wars, studying the military and the black and white relationship there, and find out that, you know, without black people, hey, I don't think the North wins a civil war either. You know, I'm just, you know, making a statement. Supposedly that was about racism. I was told it was about states' rights. It probably was a little bit of both, a lot of both, I guess. You know, because there was a lot of racism, and slavery was an issue, big issue. But slavery was the issue for state rights. States still, you know, we're going to go back to that because states are getting tired of Trump. His Republican states can't get FEMA. What was it? Arizona's got a problem. They have a lot of disaster damage done from flooding and tornadoes, and they can't get aid because they're calling the Trump to please give us aid, you know, and that's the thing, you know. He wants to be this leader that people will think is benevolent, but they're not. He's not that. He's just a greedy bastard who wants people to come up and kiss his ring. I'd like to chop the finger off, but that's a different story, you know. You say things like that, and right away I've got, you know, people looking at my posts and everything like that, saying, "What are you doing? What are you saying? What's your problem with?" got a lot of problems, but I don't have a great deal of problems with the government of the United States. It's the individuals that are there that I have a problem with. I've thought for a long time that the government of the United States was much too old. And I'm 79 years old, and I'm saying that. I just think they're too old compared to the rest of the world. We're ancient men. And you have a problem there because people stop to have confidence in the government, because they start to think the same thing. They're too old. Well, how long were you a senator for? 3 years. What are you, 86? No, I'm 70 something. Well, you had Mitch McConnell, who, I'm not saying he's not still a functioning human being, but I'm saying it's time for him to go. I think he's finally going. There are a lot of others on the Democrat side, too. There are people there that just, too long. What's his name? Biden. He was around too long. So you see these. It's just time sometimes for people to move on, and that's what I listen. I'm not. It's a difficult thing to do because you start getting into the situation where you're dealing with what's the term? You're dealing with the age laws. I mean, you keep raising the age for retirement, but yet you keep trying to, that doesn't help in a lot of cases, I think it should be you can file for your pension in the government if you work 20 years. If you started at college graduation, if you started at 23, you work 20 years, 25 years, But no, these people get promoted that's the Peter principle sets in, You get promoted to your level of inadequacy. Oh, well. Listen, hit the button that says subscribe. Hit the button that says like, or hit the button that dislike. I don't really care. I just want something to show people to show they're paying attention to me, all right? So anyhow, doesn't cost you anything. You're not obligated to do anything. So please, just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, All right, I gotta go. Talk to you tomorrow.